Right, we're on to the second event now for the Super Touring and Modern, but we'll start with the Super Touring cars. And we can't have a Super Touring car competition without the famous Volvo 850 estate. And since no one else volunteered one, I decided to put one in myself. Okay, so we'll run mine first just to see as a pace setter and see how we get on. It is, by the way, a 3D chassis by PSR on there with the slotted 21k motor. Not a good start, I have to say. Okay. Well, not as fast as the fastest of the smaller saloons, but we got 8787. Steady is probably the best way to describe that. A steady runner. So, following my car, we had Meekham's Ford Mondeo. Who's not had a Mondeo, or at least the people now, my generation would have done at some stage. I've driven one. Dagenham's Motors. Oh, great memories. Okay, so we have a Matto chassis, 20k Scud Auto. Feels a little bit tight to me, but I said that last time. It was faster than my own car, so let's see how it does. That's actually pretty well. It's stable. Fantastic. Nope. That's the driver rather than the car. Yep, nicely prepared, my Jerry, that. And we got a 8722. Which is slightly faster than mine. Next car following is the first car from Oxocube. One of his homemade chassis, no doubt. With a Hawk motor in there, so that'll be interesting. Ford Sierra, again, a car that many of us have enjoyed, or maybe not enjoyed so much in our younger days. See how it goes. Maybe I did a light at the front, I think, causing that to come off the corner. Running pretty well though, Gav. It's smooth, just now. That's the driver. Yep, quite an enjoyable car to drive, I have to say. I like that. 8.926. Unfortunately not the fastest. Not necessarily the fastest, but it feels really nice, so it should do well elsewhere, I think. Next we have Fiery One from New Zealand. His homemade chassis with a slotted motor in there. JPS livery, very nicely done. I think a standard sort of Scalatrix. One of those intermediate cars, really, not quite super touring perhaps, but not either sort of the modern, as we call it, the modern BTCC period as well. So, well, I've classified it as a super touring anyway, so it's the nearest it fits into. A lot of coming off on the corners, perhaps a bit too easily. Actually, bounced off the board there, and went back in the slot again. Not the easiest car to control, I'd have to say. Too easy to lose it. The stability there is somewhat lacking, I think. A 1020. So, next one we have is the Mod Sports A4, which is carefully prepared, I think, with his own chassis, but it's there. It's got an old slotted motor in there. Quite a heavy motor, quite a heavy car in general, but it doesn't see how quickly it goes. Unusually, that was scraping the track, which seems to indicate something's very low in there. I'm sure during the scrutineering that it passed, but unusually on my track, if it's very low, then it scrapes, but normally it should be okay for, say, 1.5 millimeters normally. Maybe because it's a long wheelbase, not sure. Anyways, we got 8211, which I think is the fastest time. I'll check. Yeah, so that's the fastest time of the day so far. So a good run. For some reason it should have been quicker if it hadn't have scraped been touching the track in places. Don't quite know why. So, next one we have is bar racer. A Moto chassis, Vauxhall Vectra, slotted motor, slotted 25k. Very nearly lost it a few times, not the most stable car position. Got 9158. And the last one of this grouping of the Super Touring cars, although it's arguably not just about on the cusp of being a Super Touring car, was the Rover SD1 from ADC. This is another Amato chassis car with a slotted 21k motor in. Just a little difficult to handle a little bit on this track anyway, so the tyres are perfectly suited to it. It's a little bit leery on the corners. 9.135. So far, in the first 3 groups, Mod Sports A4 8211 is the fastest so far.